All right, Shalom Israel. It's Brother Kazak Magun. First and foremost, want to give all honor and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh. We do so by Hashem Yahweh Shai, that's Yahweh, who the word ignorantly calls God. In the name of the Son, Yahweh Shai, who the word ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Right? Um, I'm Kazak Magun of the Angels of Yahweh. You can subscribe to our YouTube as Angels of Yahweh, right? On YouTube. But this is gonna be a quick lesson. Probably won't even be quick though. On the difference between the devil, Satan, and Lucifer, because you got a lot of people, a lot of different ideologies, going on, a lot of different philosophies, where people got it mixed up and construed on who the devil is, on who Satan is, and who Lucifer is, right? So we go through the spirit, through the precepts, we go get the understanding. Let me share my screen real quick. Share my screen. Entire screen. Share. All right. Go to the Blue Letter Bible. All right. I'm going to start off with this quick precept. We're going to start off with Psalms 119 and 104. Right, this is Psalms 119 and 104. It says, "Through thy precepts I get understanding. Therefore I hate every false way." So through the precepts, the Most High, he gives us the understanding. This Bible is like a puzzle book. You'll hear brothers say that all the time, because it's a puzzle that you have to, go here a little, there a little, through the precepts. A precepts is a scripture, or a precept is also known as a law, but most of the time when we use the word precept, we're going through, the different scriptures, right? So like sometimes you'll have to go here a little, there a little, like it says in the book of Isaiah. Isaiah, was that 28 and 9? I think I want 10 though. Oops, I went to 19. Scroll up. Isaiah 28 and 9. It says, "Whom shall he teach knowledge? Whom shall he make to understand doctrine? Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast." Right. So just like a baby cannot, start eating a full steak, a full cooked steak, the same way with coming into this knowledge and into this wisdom of the Bible that the Lord provides for us. You can't just jump out into the hard things. You got to understand the smaller things first, right? That's how you're going to, gain more and more knowledge. You got to start with the milk and then graduate into the meat and the potatoes, man. Right? You got to start off with the milk first, right? Once your teeth grow in, then you can start eating other things that would be harder to chew without those teeth. Right, so it says, I'm gonna read that again. "Whom shall he teach knowledge? Whom shall he make to understand doctrine? Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast. For precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little." Let me go back to StreamYard because I want to make sure. No, it's cool like that. That's cool. Right. It say, "For precept," Isaiah 28 and 10, "for precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little." Right? So precept must be upon precept. You got to take this scripture from over here. Say you got a scripture in Isaiah, right? Isaiah, let's just say Isaiah 30 and 8, saying that we are a rebellious people, right? And then you link that up with Ezekiel, the 3rd chapter, or the 2nd chapter, Ezekiel 2 and 5, saying the same thing, that we are rebellious people, hard-headed, stiff-necked. You link that up, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, right? So through the precepts, we're going to get the understanding, right? And that's going to turn us away from all those false ways, right? Salakia. So we're going to start off, and once again, this lesson is, what is the difference between the devil, Satan, and Lucifer, right? So we're going to start off with the devil, right? We're going to start off with the devil. And really, when it comes to the devil and Satan, the terms can kind of be interchangeable depending on the context, right? So I'm going to start off with this, right? Let's go to Matthew chapter 4. Right, Matthew the 4th chapter, from the top. Speaking on Yahweh Shai, right, when he was fasting 40 days in the wilderness. This is Matthew 4:1. Then was Yahweh Shai led up of the spirit into the wilderness to be tempted of the devil, right? So the devil, and Satan, chiefly Satan, his job is to tempt you, right? So we know that this is talking about the spiritual demon Satan in this context because that is his job. His job is to tempt you, right? His job is to lure you in through your own lust. He knows what you lust after. He knows your deepest, darkest desires. He knows all your secrets. He knows them skeletons that you got in the closet. So he's going to tempt you with those things, right? Say you had a drug addiction problem or something like that. He's going to have, say your drug of choice was weed. You be fasting 10 days off of weed. What he's going to do? He's going to have a car ride past you. And in that car is going to be people fresh out of a hot box session. They fresh out of a hot box session. And they just rolled the windows down. All those clouds and the puffs of smoke is coming straight to your nose. And you smelling it. And now you reminiscing. Now you thinking like, man, I used to get so fried back in the day when I was, smoking and all that, getting high. And you start thinking, and then you start getting tempted to want to go and call up that weed, man, and get good, so that you could, next thing you know, you rolling up. Because why? You couldn't take the temptation. That's Satan's job. Satan's job is to tempt you, right? And this is his name could be interchangeable with the devil. The devil and Satan can be the same thing, or it could be two different things, right? So in this case, the devil, in this context, is talking about the spiritual demon Satan. I'm gonna read that again. It says, then was Yahweh Shai led up of the spirit into the wilderness to be tempted of the devil. And when he had fasted 40 days and 40 nights, he was afterward and hunger. Right? So when you fasted, you in the weakest state, because while you're afflicting yourself, you're choosing to give your body something that is longing for. Right? When you fast, and you probably fast from food and drink, right? So you're denying something that your body needs in order to keep moving and functioning. You're denying that, so what? You're going to naturally, long for that. Every time you go think about food all day, if you fasting, you go think about, cherry slushies all day if you fasting. You go think about various types of things. Whatever you fasted from, you can fast from TV. You go think about all the shows that come on Thursday night. You go think about all the shows that come on Sunday night or whatever. If you fasted from social media, you're going to be thinking like, oh man, all the things that I could be missing right now on Facebook. I might as well log in, check in, and all that. You're going to be hungered for those things that you're fasting from, right? It says, and when the tempter came to him, he said, if thou be the Son of God, command that these stones be made bread, right? So the tempter, speaking about the spiritual demon Satan, he's the tempter, right? It says he's tempting Yahweh Shai, saying, hey, if you the Son of God, command that these stones be made bread, because I know you hungry. He all in his ear. All in his ear. That's what Satan is going to do. He's going to get all in your ear, all in your conscience. They got those cartoons. You'll watch them old cartoons, like you see it on Tom and Jerry a lot. Or you'll watch it on what is that? Something I was watching with my son and my rib the other day. The Emperor's New Groove. Right. They got the little angel on one shoulder and the demon on the other shoulder. all in your ear, telling you what you should do, what you shouldn't do. You know, the demon on the one shoulder is the tempter. You know, he's tempting you to do the wrong thing. You know, and if you're not built up, you know, with the right amount of discipline, you're gonna feed into that temptation, right? But this is what you do. It says, but he answered and said, it is written, right? You got to always go back to what's written, right? When that temptation is coming up against you, it says, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of God, right? Again, it called it the devil, but it's talk about the spiritual demon Satan. It says, then the devil, when you read devil, right, it really means deceiver. Let's go to that real quick. Let's get this word devil, right? Strong's G 1228, diabolos. Let's hear him say it. Strong's G 1228. Right, diabolos, right? Like how in Spanish they say devil diablo, right? That's the same word, you know, because Spanish is a Latin language, right? And let's go to it. It says prone to slander, slanderous, accusing falsely, a calumniator, false accuser, slander, applied to a man who, opposing the cause of God, may be said to act the part of the devil or to side with him, right? A traducer, right? Especially Satan, right? You see, it says it could be Satan as well, right here in this definition, right here, right? It says especially Satan, right? So the biggest accuser known to man is Satan, the spiritual demon Satan, right? He's the one that's going to constantly accuse you, you know, to do the wrong thing. He takes the wrongdoings that he gets you to do, that he tempts you to do. When you do fall subject to his temptation, he takes that straight to the Most High and says, see, I got him. I got another one of your soldiers. I got another one of your sisters. You know, I got another one of your daughters, right? He takes that straight to the Most High, right? Let's go to Job chapter 1. Right? So the word devil in some contexts can be interchangeable with the spiritual demon Satan, or it could be talking about a man, right? Right now we're showing how it can be interchangeable with the spiritual demon Satan, right? Because Satan's job is to tempt you, right? This is Job chapter 1, and we're going to start at verse 6. Now there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan came also among them, right? So they try to say that Satan got kicked out of heaven, you know, he can't go back. How did Satan get kicked out of heaven? If it just said right here, Satan came to visit the Lord, to present himself before the Lord, right? But we're going to talk about that later on. It said, and the Lord said unto Satan, whence comest thou? Then Satan answered the Lord and said, from going to and fro in the earth and from walking up and down in it, right? So Satan's job is to go all around the world, wherever the Israelites are, he's going to be tempting them, God's chosen people, to do the wrong thing and to go off to do something contrary to the law of God, right? That's his job. That's what he was created to do. It says, and the Lord said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job? So the Lord right now is bragging. He bragging like, hey, I got this man Job. You know, hey, he gonna always do the right thing. I could always, you know, count on him to, you know, stay on my side, to be joined unto me. Right? It says, hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and an upright man, one that feareth God and escheweth evil, right? Meaning abstains from evil. It says, then Satan answered the Lord and said, does Job fear God for naught? Meaning what? Satan is saying, hey, you know, I think Job don't really fear you like that. You know, you blessed him, you gave him everything that he got. You know, take all that away. I bet you he go turn on you, basically. It say, has not thou made an hedge about him and about his house and about all that he have on every side? Thou hast blessed the work of his hands, and his substance is increased in the land. But put forth thine hand now and touch all that he have, and he will curse thee to thy face. So Satan is saying, hey, take all that away, all that you bless him with. Of course he go worship you, because look how you blessing him. But take all that away, and I bet you he curse you to your face. I bet you he say, forget, the Most High, basically. It say, and the Lord said unto Satan, behold, all that he have is in thy power. Only upon him put not forth thy hand. So Satan went forth from the presence of the Lord. So he said, hey, all that you got, all that he got is in your power. Take it away from him. Try to take all that away to tempt him into turning on me. That's Satan's job. That's what Satan was sent to do. He received that order from the Most High, to go and do that, right? Let's get another precept on Satan being attempted. Let's go to First Chronicles 21. Right? It's First Chronicles, the 21st chapter. It says, and Satan stood up against Israel and provoked David to number Israel. Right? So it says Satan stood up and provoked David to number Israel. Right? Meaning what? He tempted David into numbering Israel. To understand this, you got to go back to 1 Samuel. I believe that's 2 Samuel. 2 Samuel, is that the 28th chapter? 24, my bad. This 2 Samuel, the 24th chapter. It says, and again the anger of the Lord was kindled against Israel, and he moved David against them to say, go number Israel and Judah. So by it saying move David, meaning he used Satan to persuade David, to tempt David into going off so the Most High could punish Israel, right? But speaking back on the devil, though, let's go to Revelation, right? Just to show that the devil can also be used, the term devil can also be used interchangeable for man, right? Let's go to Revelation, the 2nd chapter. Right, Revelation 2 and 10. It says, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. Right? So this is saying that the devil will throw some of you into prison. Does the devil actually, the spiritual demon Satan, does he come pulling up in that police car with the lights on, flashing the flashlight in your eye, telling you to get out, stop resisting arrest? That's not the spiritual demon Satan doing that. That's his henchman, the devil, the so-called white man. That's who's doing that. He's the devil, upon the earth. He's the one that's doing Satan's handiwork, right? He's like, just like how the Most High has a chosen people, Satan has a chosen people, and that's the so-called white man, right? The nation of Edom, the Edomites, right? Out of their progenitor Esau, right? It says the devil shall cast some of you into prison. He's the one that pulls up and throws you into prison. He's the one that's gonna, bang the gavel and declare martial law and have the military police dictating every move that you make and what's right and what's wrong in the streets, man. And that's going to be throwing people into FEMA camps. He's the one that's going to be doing all of those things, right? Not the spiritual demon Satan. Yeah, the spiritual demon Satan is behind it, right? His energy is behind it. But who does he have doing it? The devil, the so-called white man, right? Let me get another one. What was that I want? I was just thinking of one. It slipped my mind. Oh, yeah. Right, John 8:44. When Yahushua was speaking to the Pharisees, right? Let me get a little context on it. Where I want to start at. I'm gonna just start at verse. I'm gonna just start at verse 42. It says, Yahushua said unto them, if God were your father, you would love me, for I proceeded forth and came from God, neither came I of myself, but he sent me. Why do ye not understand my speech, even because ye cannot hear my word? Ye are of your father the devil, and the lusts of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. And when Yahushua was speaking, he was speaking to the Pharisees, right? But obviously, they come from the same lineage, the Pharisees and Yahushua, right? They come from the same lineage. They were all Israelites, right? So who is he talking about? When he says you are of your father, the devil, right? He's speaking about the spirit of Cain. He's talking about their spirit, right? How they're acting, right? Because Cain was the murderer from the beginning, right? He was the murderer in the beginning. He abode not in the truth. He lied to the Most High, saying that he didn't know where his brother was, even though he killed his brother, and hid his brother, right? Hid his brother's body. It said he was a murderer from the beginning and abode not in the truth. And by them wanting to kill Yahweh Shai, he's saying they're carrying that same spirit, right? Because if you scroll up, he said that what was I just at? Oh, right here. I passed it up. Right? If you scroll up, it says that they were trying to kill him. Yahweh Shai admitted. He said he admitted that he knew that they were seeking to kill him. It says, this John 8:38. It said, I speak that which I have seen with my father, and you do that which you have seen with your father. They answered and said unto him, Abraham is our father. Yahweh saith unto them, if you were Abraham's children, you would do the works of Abraham. But now you seek to kill me, a man that have told you the truth, which I have heard of God. This did not Abraham. Right? So he's saying, y'all seeking to kill me, just like, Cain, sought to kill Abel. And in that same spirit, Esau sought to kill Jacob, right? So that he's comparing them, saying that's who they're acting like, man, right? So the devil can be a man, or the devil can be the spiritual demon Satan, right? I think I wanted to get one more. What was I going to get? On the spiritual demon Satan. Let's go to 1 Kings. 1 Kings 22. I think I'm on verse 19. Right. So this is Micah. Salakia. This is Micaiah, right? A prophet at the time, right? This is him having a vision in the time of Ahab. You know, the Lord had a plan for Ahab, and the Lord was trying to see how he was going to execute this plan, right? Even though the Lord knows all things, you know, but this is just how the council in the heavens works, right? You have something that's called the divine council, right? So this is 1 Kings 22 and 19. It says, and he said, hear thou therefore the word of the Lord. I saw Yahweh sitting on his throne, and all the hosts of heaven standing by him on his right hand and on his left. And the Lord said, who shall persuade Ahab that he may go up and fall at Ramoth Gilead? Right? So the Lord is talking to his people on his right hand and on his left hand. He said, hey, who finna go down there and persuade Ahab, you know, so he could die at Ramoth Gilead? Because that's what I got planned for him. That's what I need to happen. I just don't know how I want to do it yet. You know, so he listening to all their ideas. Everybody pitching in their ideas, right? They throwing in their elevator pitches. It says, and one said on this manner, and another said on that manner. So somebody threw this idea in, somebody threw that one. You know, the Lord probably thinking like, they sound good, but they just ain't that idea that I want. You know, so he said, the verse 21, and there came forth a spirit, right? And what kind of spirit? This is a dark spirit. This is the spiritual demon, Satan. This is a demon right here. It says, and there came forth a spirit and stood before the Lord and said, I will persuade him. Meaning what? And I will persuade him, meaning what? I'm going to tempt him, right? And the Lord said unto him, wherewith? And he said, I will go forth and I will be a lying spirit in the mouth of his prophets. And he said, thou shalt persuade him and prevail also. Go forth and do so. So the Lord can send forth Satan to be a lying spirit in the mouth, you know, of people that you trust, you know, people that you get counsel from. The Lord could have them lie to you and tempt you into fulfilling his will that he wants to happen. Right? It says, now therefore, behold, Yahweh have put a lying spirit in the mouth of all these thy prophets, and the Lord have spoken evil concerning thee. Right? And so the Lord had that fulfilled by that happening. And Ahab went up and fell at Ramoth Gilead, just as the Lord prescribed for him to do. Right? So let's deal with Lucifer. Right? So we got the devil and Satan. Right? Let's deal with Lucifer. Let's go to Isaiah 14. Oh wait, you know, one more I wanted to get. Let's go to Revelation. Is that 20? The great dragon? Yeah, here it is. Right. This is Revelation 20 and 2. Going back to the devil and Satan. Just one more. It said, and lay hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years. Right. So this talk about the devil and Satan. This is talking about when this talk about the dark ages right here in this context. Right. So it says Satan, the devil was bound 1,000 years. Meaning what? Through the dark ages, you had Jake ruling all through Europe. You had the so-called you had the Byzantine Empire, you had the Holy Roman Empire, right? This is when our people, you know, under the term, you might hear the term Moors, you know, under those terms, you know, we was ruling in Europe, you know, for 1,000 years, you know, chiefly from around 537 AD to to 1500 to the 1500s, and then that's when the Renaissance began to happen, and the so-called white man came back into power, right? But it says he it says, and laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years, right? So this is when the so-called white man, he got pushed out into the mountains. He fell out of power after the Roman Empire, after the Roman Empire, right? They fell out of power, and Satan, the devil and Satan, right? He said, and bound him 1,000 years, right? So that just shows that, they can sometimes be interchangeable. They can mean the same thing, or they can mean two different things, right? In this case, the devil will be the so-called white man, and Satan will be the spiritual demon Satan, right? But let's go to Lucifer, though. Let's go to Isaiah 14. Isaiah 14, and I'm going to start at verse 4, right? It's Isaiah 14 and 4. It says, thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon, right? And context is key, because a lot of people, especially in Catholicism and Christianity, and people that don't even call themselves Christians, they believe that the devil's name is Lucifer. You got a show on Netflix with a white man, and he calls his name is Lucifer, and he's supposed to be Satan, but Satan and Lucifer are two different things, right? You have the spiritual demon Satan, which is the spirit, right? And then you have Lucifer, which is who? The king of Babylon, as it's getting ready to say. This Isaiah 14 and 4. This is why context is key and the precepts are key. It says that thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how have the oppressors ceased? The golden city ceased. And we all know that Babylon the Great today in time is America. America is Babylon the Great, prophesied, right? That was prophesied, all those years ago by the great prophets Isaiah, Daniel, John the Revelator, Jeremiah, Ezekiel, right? All of these prophets, they prophesied of Babylon the Great. It says, the Lord have broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers, right? It says, he smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke. He that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted, and none hindereth. The whole earth is at rest and quiet. They break forth into singing, right? I'm going to jump down to verse 12, right? This is where they get the doctrine of Lucifer from. It says, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations, right? And I want to click on this Lucifer, right? Let's go into this word. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer? Look like it says, hey, Hallel. Right, so Hallel in the Hebrew, right? Lucifer, light bearer, right? Shining one, morning star, Lucifer, of the king of Babylon. And see, they went off right there, and Satan, right? But Lucifer is the king of Babylon, right? Meaning light bearer. Who are the people that bear the light right now? Who are the people that all the nations reflect to? Who are the people that all the nations reflect to for their wisdom, for the knowledge and understanding? Who are the people that got that dark hidden knowledge that it's like, yeah, I gotta go back to, hold on. right? Who are the people that hold on to that dark hidden knowledge, that have the Illuminati, right? When you the word the root word illuminate, which is in Illuminati, means what? Light, to enlighten, right? So the people of the Illuminati, they have that light, that knowledge. They are the light bearers. They feel like they hold the keys to the secret knowledge that governs the society, right? And these are the people these are the kings of Babylon. These are your Donald Trumps, your Rothschilds, right? Your Queen Elizabeths. These are those people, right? Those are the Luciferians, right? It's like I'm gonna pull another precept, because to be illuminated just means to have knowledge, right? Let me go to no, not second address. That's Baruch 4:3. Baruch 4:3. Right here. That's not one. Let me see, view chapter. I'm sure it's right here. It was verse 2, right? It says, "Turn thee, O Jacob." I'm gonna jump up to verse 1. "This is the book of the commandments of God, and the law that endureth forever. All they that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die. Turn thee, O Jacob, and take hold of it. Walk in the presence of the light thereof, that thou mayest be illuminated," right? And these commandments are a light for us, right? The law of the Lord is a light for us, right? Let me go to this in Proverbs real quick. Click out of that. I'm gonna open another tab. So I don't want to pull out the Bible. Let's go to Proverbs 6:23. It's Proverbs 6:23. It says, "For the commandment is a lamp, and the law is light, and reproofs of instruction are the way of life," right? So the commandment and the law is light unto us, right? When we take hold of that light, we become illuminated, right? We are the Illuminati of the right hand side. And then you have the Illuminati of the left hand side, right? Which are the powers that be, right? Of the spiritual wickedness in high places, like it says in the book of Ephesians, chapter 6 and verse 11 on down, right? They use left hand knowledge, left hand wisdom, craftiness, witchcraft, sorcery and magic, to illuminate themselves, and make things happen, for them, right? So that's the power of the king of Babylon, right? But the Lord said He's going to strip him of his power, right? Because when you are in heaven, is you're in power, you're in rulership, right? To be taken out of heaven and to be crashed down to the ground, that means you're being taken out of rulership, and now you're down in the dust, meaning what? A lower state. To be on the ground means you're at a lower state. Right now, we're the people on the ground. We at a lower state. We fell from heaven too, right? We was at one point we was on up on that pedestal, but now we're fell down to a lower state because we chose not to keep the Lord's commandments, right? It says, "How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations," right? It says, "For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars," right? So this shows right here that heaven is rulership, because He said, "I will exalt my throne above the stars of God," right? And who are the stars of God? The Israelites, right? The Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, right? It says, I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north, and I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. What people on earth try to sit in the Most High seat, try to say that they're God, right? You got the so-called white man. He paints pictures of himself as God, right? of himself. You got he painted himself. He want to be the angels. He want to be the Israelites. He want to be Pharaoh and the Egyptians. He want to be the Most High, right? He want to be everybody, right? But to tell the truth, he's the devil, right? It says Satan transformed himself into an angel of light, man, right? It says, I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend into the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit, right? And when it's speaking about hell, it's talking about to the grave, right? It's no place underground. That's going to be one of my next lessons. There's no place under the ground that you go to when you die called hell, right? That's a Greek concept, speaking about Hades, and that's all Greek mythology, right? It says, they that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee. We can't see the spiritual demon Satan, right? We can't see him, right? We can't see him with our naked eyes, right? With our natural eyes, we can't see him, but we can see the so-called white man, and we can see Satan on people by the deeds that they do, right? It says, they that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man, right? This is the key point right here. It says, is this the man? The spiritual demon Satan is not a man. The spiritual demon Satan is a spirit, right? A tempting spirit, right? So this is talking about the king of Babylon. It says, is this the man? It's speaking about the so-called white man. Is this the man that made the earth to tremble, right? How did he make the earth to tremble? He dropped those bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, right? He goes to war and he sets up military garrisons all in your country, right? He'd have puppets, cause all type of anarchy in your country, and then he'll make it to the point where you ask him for help, and then he comes and he knocks out the anarchy, through his witchcraft, right? Because why? It was all set up for him. It was all set up to happen that way, in for his plan, right? And that's how he makes the earth to tremble, right? That's how he instills fear in your heart of him, right? You see the so-called white man, you got people that kind of straighten up, kind of fix the way they walking, they pull their pants up, right? People get in order when they see the so-called white man. You talk on the phone to a white man, you're using your white people voice, right? You try to change your voice and be talking all proper and all that. Why? Because the earth is in fear of him, right? He's in rulership right now. It says I'm going to read that again, verse 16, Isaiah 14 and 16. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms? It says, that made the world as a wilderness, right? How did he make the world as a wilderness? He's taking all the natural resources, using them all up. He's in control of a lot of the oil on the earth. He takes the opioid plant, and takes that and put drugs in people's neighborhood. He using all the natural resources. He take all the animals, put them in zoos, take them out of their habitat. It say, and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of his prisoners, right? And he destroyed cities. Like I said, Hiroshima, Nagasaki, dropped those atomic bombs on them, right? And create a nuclear war. Through the nuclear testing, you have a lot of habitats and ecosystems become destroyed from the nuclear contaminations and all that. It say that open not the house of his prisoners. We are his prisoners, right? America, we prisoners here in America, and he hasn't opened the door for us yet. It say that open not the house of his prisoners. He hasn't let us free. You might say the Emancipation Proclamation, but we still here in the land of our captivity. He ain't sent us back to Israel where we belong at. It say all the kings of the nations, even all of them, lie in glory, everyone in his house, right? So that's it on that. Right? But yeah, so Lucifer It's speaking about the king of Babylon. And who is the king of Babylon? The so-called white man, not the spiritual demon Satan. Lucifer is not Satan. They're not the same thing, right? But Lucifer works under Satan, right? He does the work of Satan, right? Because why? He's the devil, the so-called white man, right? What else did I want to grab? Let's go to 1 Thessalonians. Second chapter. I meant to go to the second chapter. I'm in 2 Thessalonians. Right. The 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. And I'm going to start at verse 3. 2 Thessalonians 2 and 3. It says, "Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first." And that falling away was us leaving the truth, us forgetting our heritage, us forgetting our identity, right? And that happened, right? That falling away came. It says, "And that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition." That man of sin, he has to be revealed. Who is that man of sin? Let's talk about the so-called white man, right? As it says in Isaiah, it called him Lucifer, the king of Babylon, right? He has to be revealed. Somebody got to point him out. Somebody got to, go how you are a witness to a crime, or you're a victim to a crime, and you go and you gotta go in that anonymous room and point out the person that committed the crime in that lineup, right? Somebody got to point them out. It says, "Except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition." It says, "Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God." Right? Who does that? Who opposeth and exalteth himself above that is called God? The Most High say, you're not allowed to kill your seed. But who says it's okay to get an abortion? The so-called white man. The Most High say, you're not allowed to marry the same sex. But who say love is love? The so-called white man. The Most High says, you should not eat anything with the blood. But who say it's okay to eat a rare steak? The so-called white man. He opposes and exalts himself above all that is called God. Right? He says his knowledge is more valuable than the knowledge that God has to offer, and that the wisdom of God has to offer you. He say you better off learning his universities, studying his books, his philosophies, rather than the Bible. Right? But when the Bible says that the wisdom of this world is foolishness to the wisdom of God, right? Paraphrasing. It says, "Who opposes and exalteth himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God," showing himself that he is God, right? So he as God sitteth in the temple of God, right? He forms the Peace Corps. He goes to all these different third world countries and get kids that's starving over their little bags of oatmeal. Give them rice to eat and all of that. And they look at him like, wow, the so-called white man is God. He get them medicine to help their small sicknesses, just so these countries could look up to him and be like, yeah, if there's a God on earth, it got to be the so-called white man. He, like I said, he painted himself to be Yahweh Shai, Caesar Borgia, right? So now the whole world thinks that Caesar Borgia is the true image of Christ, when it's not. Christ is a so-called black man with woolly hair, not a white man with stringy dog hair. It says, and and show of himself that he is God. Remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things. It says, and now ye know that with what withholdeth that he might be revealed in his time, because he's going to be revealed in his time. Right? The Lord said the triumphing of the wicked is short. Right? In Job. It say, for the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now letteth will let. And let's talk about the Most High. He's the only one that is letting this happen. And once he's done letting it happen, it's over with. You know, the so-called white man is going to be taken out the way. It say, until he be taken out of the way. Right? It says, and then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Right? Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders. Right? His coming is after the working of Satan. Right? He's Satan's henchman, as I said earlier in this lesson. Right? It says, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of truth, that they might be saved. Right? That's it on that. But I'm saying though, you know, it says, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders. Right? But before that, in verse 8, it says, and then shall that wicked be revealed. Right? Who is the wicked? Right? Let's go to Malachi. Because the Lord, through the precepts, told you who this is. Right? It's not a mystery on who it is. You could just read that and understand who it is, but the Lord told us who it is. Right? This is Malachi chapter 1 and verse 2. It says, I have loved you, saith the Lord. Yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Right? The Lord said he loved us, the Israelites, the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, but we say back to him, how you love us? Since when have you loved us? It said, was not Esau Jacob's brother? Saith the Lord, yeah, I love Jacob. And the Lord said, hey, Esau was Jacob's brother, and I only love Jacob. And y'all come from Jacob. It say, and I hated Esau. The Lord just said right there out of his mouth, he hated Esau. Who is Esau, the so-called white man? It say, and lay his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. It say, whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, right? But we will return and build the desolate places. This talk about them this talk about them, you know, during the Renaissance. They was impoverished. But they said, what? We go return and rebuild the desolate places, right? We go take our power back on the earth, right? And become the ruling class again. It says, thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down. The Most High said they go build, but I'm going to throw it down. I'm gonna tear all that down that they think is gonna last forever. It's not, right? It say what is that in Psalms 49? I gotta pull it because I'm gonna misquote it. The inward thought, right? Psalms 49 and 11. It says their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names. Let's talk about the so-called white man. They believe that they're going to keep passing down their generational wealth to generation after generation after generation after generation after generation. But the Lord said it's not so. It's not going to be like that, right? And said that their houses and their dwelling places go continue on forever, right? They say America is going to stand forever, but it's not. The Lord is going to throw this down. They built this place, you know, off our blood, sweat, and tears, off us being enslaved, and the Lord is going to throw it down. It say they call their lands after their own names, right? And who does that other than the so-called white man? Call the land after his own name, right? So I'm going to read Malachi 1 and 4 again. It says, whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness. That's the point that I wanted right there, right? It said they shall call them wherever these people are at, wherever the Edomites are at, they're going to be called the border of wickedness, right? So the Most High said in 2 Thessalonians 2 and verse 8, then shall that wicked be revealed. But the Lord already revealed who the wicked is. We just don't know. We just haven't known because why? He had us fooled through his witchcraft, through his philosophies, right? Through his trickery and sorcery, right? But now that wicked is being revealed because why? The Lord put the Spirit on us to understand this Bible, man, and to understand what it's going into, and to understand these prophecies, and to understand who the devil is on earth, man, right? And who's coming after the working of Satan. They say the border of wickedness, they shall call them. And the people against whom the Lord have indignation, meaning strong hatred forever, right? So with that, I'm going to give all honor and glory. Let me stop sharing my screen. With that, I'm going to give all honor and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh. Lord willing, you was edified. Lord willing, I gave you some understanding on who is the devil, right? Who is the devil, who is Satan, and who is Lucifer, right? On this quick lesson, right? I want to give all honor and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, Bashim Yahweh Shah. I'm Kazak of the angels of Yahweh. Shalom.